My name's Chris and I like listening to music. I'm going to listen to Circuit de Yeux, Halo on the Inside, which is hit and miss for me. It's some of it's dark and a bit too dreary for me, but I like the electronic moments, but we'll get into that as we go along. I gave it an 8 out of 10, which I think is probably about right. Let's see what the last and 10th listen brings. Track 1, Megaloner. It's a good example of a track that I like it just as much the 10th listen as I did the first. I remember being quite excited by the Depeche Mode rhythmicness of it all, that 80s production. And it is a good song, and it is a decent start, but yeah, perhaps I like the chorus a little bit more after 10 listens in my head there. 8 out of 10. Track 2, Canopy of Eden. Yeah, big step up in quality for me this. The intro could be off Electro 8 Street Sounds. The voice sounds perfect. You just wouldn't want any other tone of voice than what you're listening to. And then there's a great Chemical Brothers type payoff on a minute. Catchy chorus. I listened to a lot of this on headphones, just the way it worked out, and it's a great walking record. Yeah, have a good walk to this record. Your pace is double. Brilliant. And that, 10 out of 10. Track 3, The Journey That Is Skeleton Key. You know, I'm walking with my headphones and then it's ballad. So, not an overly interesting one either. You know, it's sort of got the Phil Collins about it for me at the beginning. You know, it hasn't got the deepness of an Anthony and the Johnsons, which it's trying to be. And you get a little bit of a Beatles strings that help to a level, but you're in a bit of a mood that you're in such a good sort of walking pace. But then when the crescendo happens, you know, it's not all forgiven. And bits of it are, her voice reminds me of Heather Small from M People in bits of it, but it's a big old finish. That is a big old finish. First half of the song, 3 out of 10. Second half of the song, 10 out of 10. Let's give it an 8 out of 10. Track 4, Anthems and Me. Damn it, we get some dirge, you know, useless. 1 minute 43, then it gets a little bit better, but still too much dirge. A little bit self-indulgent. 6 out of 10. Track 5, Cosmic Joke. Another ballad. It just breaks the pattern for me. You know, how I yearn for that track 2, that dancey track 2. You know, it's just, I want sunshine, happy boy music, not this slightly more depressing stuff. But quite a nice melody when you do listen to, but just give me more jiggle. 7 out of 10. Track 6, Cathexis, something like that. Got into second gear at least, nice to hear the drummer, get a workout. You know, the band are ace, by the way, you know, musically they are good. Production's good, but I'm not always sure I like it. And on this track, I'm pretty bored, 6 out of 10.